Hey, we're back with more Sports Break NBA today. I'm here with Vlad, our lead NBA correspondent for Kayhan TV Studios. We're going to highlight a couple teams in the East in this segment, namely the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks. The Cavs have been the kings of the East for about, what?
Last 2 years.
The last 2 years since LeBron came back, basically.
Exactly.
So I guess we're basically trying to say, is there anybody here who has any chance to get past the Cavs, or giving the Cavs a run for their money? And two of the interesting teams this year have been the Knicks and the Bulls, in my opinion. They're marquee teams. They're in big markets. The Knicks always get a lot of press because they're in New York, but they have tried to add pieces to make this seem like a playoff contender, at least under what Phil Jackson would create a team. He's got Carmelo, he's got Porzingis, and he added Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose, maybe some older players. But on paper, it looks like an interesting team. Right now, they're 8-8. They're basically just slipping into the playoffs if the standings ended today. Do you see the Knicks being a playoff team? Once the regular season closes, can this team work in the playoffs and get through some rounds?
Can they make the playoffs? First question, yes. Can they go through some rounds? Depending on the matchups, maybe, but no, there's no way they're going to get past the second round of the playoffs. They could possibly get past the first round depending on who they play, but is this a team that can compete with the upper echelons of the NBA? No, absolutely not. No chance of
Well,
that.
what is it about them? They have the names on the paper. They got star power. They've got scorers. They've got Carmelo, who's a 25-point-a-game scorer. They've got Porzingis, who's got incredible athleticism and size in the paint. What is it? Is it that they just can't play defense?
Well, Porzingis is a talented player and definitely a young player. That's probably their best asset that they have. And Carmelo's been there for years, but really, what has he done since he's been there? I mean, they haven't really accomplished much. I think the farthest they went one time was in the semifinals. But Rose and Noah, I mean, those are just, I wouldn't say those are great additions. Rose is a good player, but I mean, he's always been hurt his whole career. He's not the same Derrick Rose that he was before the injuries. And even if he was healthy, he's such a selfish player, not a guy that really fits in with like a triangle-like point guard that Phil has, used to. He's a shoot-first player, looking for his shot first. And Noah's not the same defensive player that he was either because of constant injuries to his shoulder, his knees, everything like that. Definitely not the same player that he was 3 or 4 years ago under Tom Thibodeau in Chicago. So that's not a team that I would consider a team that could possibly make some noise in the Eastern Conference. No.
All right. Well, the Bulls, also another interesting team. They've tried putting some star players together. I guess that's kind of been the running theme in the NBA since, LeBron's done it a few times, getting some of his friends together and making a star-studded lineup. So the Bulls have got Jimmy Butler, and they added Dwayne Wade and Rajon Rondo, and also looks good on paper. What do you think of them? They're 10-6 right now, probably more stable than the Knicks. They've got Fred Hoiberg in their coaching instead of Tom Thibodeau, which is it's his second year now. That was a major change for the Bulls, yeah. But what do you think of the Bulls? Do they have any chance? If they came up against the Cavaliers, that Dwayne Wade-LeBron matchup would definitely be interesting. Yeah. But do they have any chance to giving them a run for their money?
Yeah. Now, the Bulls legitimately have a small chance. Now, why? Because Dwayne Wade is a championship caliber player. He's been through the wars many times. And Jimmy Butler right now is playing like one of the top 5 to 10 best players in the league. So he's tremendous. So because of those two reasons, and Dwayne Wade's experience and Butler's just incredible play so far this season, they have a legitimate chance. Things do concern me, like the fact that Rajon Rondo has not been as effective as they thought he would be, or he has not meshed well. And that was actually a concern going into the season, that he would not mesh well with the team, and he's had some issues because of the fact that he can't shoot. Well, look, if you have a player in today's NBA that can't shoot, it's going to be hard, especially a guard. I mean, you need your guards to be able to hit 15 to 20-foot shots on the regular basis. And if you can't do that in today's league, and all you can do is just drive to the lane and pass it off, that's not going to be enough in today's NBA. You need your guards to be able to hit the long ball, to hit the outside shot, and if you can't, that's going to hinder them going forward.
So why did the Celtics get away with it with Rondo as the point guard and they won a title?
Well, first, a couple of reasons. They had an elite defense. That's one reason. And two, the NBA was still not playing as small ball as it is even now. I mean, now it's just ridiculous. Now you don't really even, it's not about, going inside to Kevin Garnett anymore, or going inside and isolating Paul Pierce. Now it's about, hey, who can hit the most threes? Who can, what kind of pace are you playing at? And who could make the most easiest shots, create the most easiest shots available for the team. And that's not the way it was with the Celtics when they had that elite defense and when they won in 2008.
All right, well, that's all we got for this segment. We would love for anybody out there to challenge the Cavaliers, even if you're not in the NBA. But, it would be nice if the Eastern Conference playoffs weren't a complete waste of our time. But we'll see, and it's looking like it will be again.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Like we said in other segments earlier today, injuries could happen. LeBron could go down.
It's a long season.
It's a long season. So if someone on the Cavaliers does go down, that makes the East interesting. But that remains to be seen. That's all for today's Sports Break NBA. We will be back in the near future with more updates. Thank you very much.